Hello, just Jax here and welcome to my channel. Today I went shopping and as some of you would already know, I always have a look down like the kiddies aisle, the seasonal aisle, to see if there's anything that I can have some fun with and see if we can either just have a go at or adjust to make it, you know, a next level potential. So I saw this, Tinned Fun, make your own birdhouse. So I thought, well, we could make a birdhouse or we could make something else out of it. House shaped, house themed. I don't know, let's have a look. It says that you get 8 paint pots, 1 string, 1 paintbrush and 7 wooden panels. So I'm curious as to how it goes together for one. Oh, and this was only £2, so I thought it was worth a pop at £2. Oh, it's a very tiny... Oh, now I knew it had to be tiny because it's got to fit in this tin. But it is a very, very tiny birdhouse. I don't think there's many birds that can live in this. Nothing in particular to take of note there. Everything basically hooks together. So, oh, it's so dinky and fragile feeling. Well, these paint pots are most likely going to be poster paints. Because you get them en masse, and a lot of these things that come in these little tubes, these little pots like this, they're usually poster paints, so they're water based. So if you do get this to have a go at, and you do use those paints to put it out for a very little tiny bird. Some birds will fit in there. The second that it rains, this will swell anyway, because it's just like, it's very, very, very thin 3-ply. So it will swell in the rain, and this will all run. So we might just go for decorate. If you are going to do this yourself, mix this with a little PVA glue is probably the cheapest, easiest way to make it last. This will still swell, but if you give it a really good external coat of PVA glue, I wouldn't worry about the inside, because if something's going to live in it, you don't want them to have glue in there. But failing that, just varnish it afterwards. So let's have a look at putting it together first. Well, we know these are the roof bits because they've got the holes in. We know this is the floor, front and back, roof and roof, side and side. These are all meant to just sort of push into each other and slide across. So is there a right and wrong way to do this? Because I guess for this one it seems to be going better the other way. So let's see if that does the same. Yeah, it does seem to go in better that way. And these... right in and down. It leaves a gap, and it's sort of, the roof's going to be all hoof as well. It's all going to be up and angled. We will string it together, since that's what we've been given a bit of string for. And I don't see the roof keeping itself together without the bit of string involved. The bottom does not want to stay on. So how are we going to make this work for everything? So wonk. I would not want to live in that if I were a bird. Can you see that wonk? From that angle, it goes in at an angle. The bottom doesn't line up. I mean, what can I expect for £2? But we're gonna, and I'm holding that tight, because if I hold it loose, the whole thing's going to fall apart. And that's not going to keep any poor little birdie dry. Their nest is going to be all exposed because everything's on the wonk. And probably fall out. I'll give it credit where credit is due. It does say to retain colour, please varnish. So they are expecting you to use this. What we're going to do is we're going to make it work for us, and we're going to make it more secure to begin with. So I'm going to glue everything together. So we'll come back when that is fully glued together, and I will use, mind you, I have got wood glue, so I may as well use the wood glue. Wood glue, Yoo-hoo, PVA, they'll all work. birdhouse is far more solid now that we've glued it. So I was having a look to see what I got, and I have lollipop sticks. Now I've trimmed a load down because what I'm going to do with these as our first little upscale, we're going to glue our lollipop sticks across the top to give the roof a bit more finesse, a bit more flavour. We're going to glue all that down. So I'll, make a start so you can see what my plan is. And then we'll either speed forward or we'll flash forward. We'll do one of the two. Luckily you don't need lots of it. And I did count these out beforehand to make sure that they would fit in the space provided. Got a much sturdier roof now. Well, this is where we're at with the birdhouse. There's been a little bit of progress in between takes. I've got a little panel in here, which you can't quite see. There we go, you can see from that angle. So I'm probably going to either wood burn or hand paint, whatever the name of this place is going to be. I've made a little door with a little lollipop stick piece and some matchstick pieces. And I've started to fill in. That makes a cool sound. I've started to fill in the sides with cocktail sticks. Well, I have filled in the sides with cocktail sticks. So I've broken the tip off, which is this little pile here. Made them all about the same size and just glued them in. Now, I've got some little tiny pieces here that I'm thinking of putting around the window. But yeah, this is just a little stop in to show you all where I'm at. I think if the cocktail sticks are long enough, I will do that. Let's just get one, find out. Yeah, I'll only need to snap off a very tiny bit of each one, but then that can go all the way up there. I don't know what I'll do here. I'm going to get breaking cocktail sticks because I think I'm going to cover all of this in cocktail sticks. I'll come back. It'll either be when I've glued them all on and we'll do these, or it'll be when I've broken them all and I've got them all laid out in two house shapes here and start gluing them on. Well, here's where we're at with the upgraded birdhouse. So we've totally log affected it with cocktail sticks. I've put a little panel with lollipop sticks on the back to match the front. The door you'd already seen. So all we're going to do now, I was having dabble with doing this. We're going to leave that for now, but what we are going to do with the aid of some tweezers is we're going to pop our little decoration around the window. Right, let's try and get these guys on. We're going to let that dry again. When we come back, we're going to start painting. Now, like I say, when we come back, we may or may not have these bits here. I'm giving that a little bit of thinking time, because if I do this around the front, I've got to do it around the back. So, yes, our lovely little upgraded birdhouse is done. I'm going to see what we can do with the paints provided. Let's see if we can manipulate these enough to do something cool to our house with. So I think we'll start with the roof. And we will go slatey. So let's have a look. Let's just put a bit on outright, see how it feels. How white is the white? Not very white. That's how white the white is. So we will drag the white through the black. Should we try the red here? It does look, oh dear, there's only half. You get a damn near full black, but that's only half full. I haven't used it. I don't think you can see there. I haven't used any of these for anything yet, because we're saving it for this. So the red, let's see how that goes on. Right, Again, we'll close up the red in case that little tiny bit just evaporates. 2 coats has actually dried quite nicely, and it's not taking any time at all to dry. Let's try, see what yellow comes out like. Then I think we'll try the blue on the back first. So first of all, how much do you get the yellow? Pretty much half a pot, if you're lucky. Right, they seem to be a little stingy outside of the black and the white. The yellow is going on quite nice. Right, let's look at 1, how much blue do we get? And 2, how's it going to go if we try and pale it up with the white? Yeah, again, about half with the blue. So they are definitely incredibly stingy with their colours. Let's get the white ready as well. Hardly see that white went down there. Yeah, I think we'll put the poor excuse for a white down first and then drag the blue over the top of that. Don't know what to do with the flower. We got orange, we got pink that we haven't tried yet. I'm going to save green for across the bottom here. Let's have a look, see what they both look like. So let's not be surprised when we've got half a pot. Oh, there's 3/4 of a pot of pink. What about the orange? We can get into it. This one doesn't want to open. It looks like half a pot. It's less than half a pot. We'll see what the orange looks like. Quite good. Let's see what the pink looks like. It's very washy. I think we're probably going to go orange, because the pink is, it's going to have to be used with something to make something else go further, or to make an optional colour or shade, because that is not very good. Right, we'll let that dry while we have a think about what's going on with the rest of it, and if we can do anything about our walls, because they are far from perfect. Right, this is where we're at with our little, originally £2 birdhouse in a box. We've upgraded it a touch. Now, last time I was recording, I was attempting to get a sky blue. You can see I have since abandoned that, because no matter how hard I tried, if I put white or pink with the blue, it just turned it into, it just wouldn't take. So I don't know what they have done to these 2 colours in particular, but they do not want to take to any of the wood. I even tested on the bottom in case it was because the cocktail sticks were slightly different, or in case it was because of the glue. But no, the pink and the white, they are poop in a tub. Just as a little update, keep it in line with everything we've done so far. Green was the only one that I hadn't opened on camera. Green was also quite full. I have painted around the door frame. I made a grey. I'll get in close in a moment for the little step and a little path, and then I put green around the edges and just underneath, because this house, this was built on grass. So that's where we're at. What we're going to do now, I'll pop those over there because there'll be a little bit of touch-up work yet, though some of these are completely empty, like the blue, because in the end I just had to paint it blue. That's pretty much empty, so let's hope we don't need to do any blue touch-up. So, our little sign here. I have got my pyrography tool there heating up. I did a little test to make sure that the nib that I put on there, again you can't see, I'll do that on the close-up, is hot enough and good to go, and we can actually work on this surface. And then I was having to think, because originally I was just going to have welcome put on there. I was like, well, a lot of inns, they don't just have a big old welcome sign. That's what they're called. So I was trying to think of lots of different names, and honestly, the best I could come up with was the Flyby, because I don't think anything's actually going to come in here and live in here. It's just going to fly by. So we're going to call this the Flyby. I was thinking Flyby Inn, but it's like, no, just the Flyby. And I don't know what we'll do at the back here. We'll have a little bit of think while we get the Flyby on here. Let's just try. We've got a bit of a hover in hand. I don't think I've got anything that I can... Maybe the kitchen roll? Something that I can rest my hand on for a bit of stability. It's an almost full kitchen roll, so it might prove... Let's try this. Yes, this could work. Okay. Here we go. The Flyby. Maybe let's be confident. Okay, it's hot enough that I don't need to put a whole heap of pressure on. The Flyby. I don't know if we put anything over here or we just leave it at the Flyby. Yeah, just some little dashes because something is flying by. We're not going to underline anything. We're going to keep it as it is. I like that. I was thinking of painting the sign yellow, but I think I'm just going to leave it pale wood. Now, what to do at the back here? Do we do anything at the back here? I think we should do something at the back there, or do we just paint that yellow? Like it's just a nice panel. Yeah. We'll just paint that yellow as a nice panel. So I'm going to leave that over there to cool. So we'll just paint this yellow, since yellow is the trim. Oh, the door! We were going to do something to the door. Let me close this back up for a minute. All I was going to do to the door, which I will be able to do, let me just wash my brush, is just put a little wood effect on there. I mean, I know it's already wood, but you know, some like grain work. Let's see if this is still hot enough. Or even just some panels. I think it's going to be the most even of panels, but that's fine. This is an old rickety house. It's probably used, you know, some fence posts at some point to fix the door up with. That's the story I'm going with. There we go. Right. Now I can turn this off. Let that cool down before I dismantle it. So we'll flash forward to this being second coated, using up whatever paint's left to coat up everything that needs to be coated up. A seal of PVA glue, and then final shot. Well, the Flyby birdhouse is done. Looking all nice and protected and shiny. I gave it 2 coats of PVA glue in the end just to make sure. So let's get up close and have a look at the finished result. So here we are. We might even be able to see inside. See, we're all nice and sealed in there. There's no openings. So no draft is going to get in. Yeah. You know what, for £2, giving it a little bit of extra work to make it a little bit more something special. It was worth it. It was fun to play with. I only really think it's worth it if you're going to do something more to it. Just slotting it together and painting it, especially with the paints provided, isn't really worth £2, only because what you get is probably worth £2. The tin is really nice. Let me get the tin. Tin's going to come in for something, that's for sure. So, nice tin. That's probably instructions still in there. Nice tin. We can put those for recycling now. So, the tin will come in for something, store something in there. Right, they're not exactly... Yes, that is what you get. No, it does not fit as well together as that. And the sides do not go in straight. They go in like that. And they can only go together one way. So it's not a case of they're upside down or the wrong way round. That's how the sides go together. Now I know these colours are enhanced, but they do not go on like that either. The blue definitely does not go on like that. Here's the blue. Multiple layers. It's shiny because I covered it in PVA glue. The red is probably the closest. Again, I know it's enhanced for a reason. But a lot of these things, if they are more genuine with showing you, like someone actually put this together and actually used those paints and took a picture of that, it would still sell. People would still buy it. Just, there's no need for this, like, you know, splodgy camo thing. Look at how well it goes on. Because it doesn't. So people are going to get disappointed. But yeah, back to our beautiful upmarket little stay here. So we got our little, oh, pardon me dropping the phone. We've got our little step into the building. We've got our little door frame. We've got our little door with some hinges and a little handle. We've got our lovely flower style trim around the entrance for the birdies / the window of the flyby in, or just the flyby. And that's why those dashes are there, because that's everything just flying by. So yeah, it was fun to do. And this is definitely sturdy now. That's not going to fall apart. I'm not going to drop it. I'm not that confident. Well, I don't think it'd fall apart. It might just break in random parts. I mean, it's got so much glue on it, both like before we coated it. See, we even managed to seal the bottom off. But then giving it that coat with PVA glue as well. 2 coats of PVA glue. I'm pretty sure it won't fall apart if I were to drop it. But I'm not going to do that. I quite like this little thing. I think I will stick it outside. I don't know if this time of the year is the best time of the year for sticking it outside. Because it's grim out there. I mean, I'll happily stick it out if there's a chance that anything's going to seek shelter in there. Perhaps we'll do that. Let me know what you think. Is this a nice little upmarket place to stay? If you were a bird, do you think you'd seek residence in there? I mean, it's quite flash. It's nice and warm in there, I'm sure, especially once you've got a little nest in there. Nobody else is going to have a house like it. Yours will be unique in the neighbourhood. Well, thank you so much for stopping by and checking me and my channel out and joining me on this little make your own birdhouse adventure. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you come back for more. Let me know in the comments any suggestions, recommendations, things you'd like me to try. I do read them all and reply to them all, or the ones that need replying to anyway. Yeah, like if you like what you see, comment if you've got something to say, and subscribe if you really like what you see and you want to see more and know when it's coming. Thank you all again so much. Take care and see you in the next one.